marble. Successive emperors, like Tiberius, Claudius, and Vespasian, continued to expand and consolidate the empire's vast territories. The empire reached its zenith under Emperor Trajan in 117 CE, stretching from the misty shores of Britain to the sun-scorched deserts of Mesopotamia, and from the Rhine River in Germany to the banks of the Nile in Egypt. It was a multicultural, multi-ethnic superstate, home to an estimated 50 to 90 million people, roughly a quarter of the world's population at the time. However, the golden age of the Pax Romana could not last forever. By the 3rd century CE, the empire was beset by a series of crises that threatened to tear it apart. The period known as the crisis of the 3rd century was marked by constant civil war. As ambitious generals vied for the imperial throne, the empire suffered from rampant inflation, economic collapse, and devastating plagues that decimated its population. At the same time, its borders came under increasing pressure from barbarian tribes such as the Goths and the Vandals, who launched frequent and destructive raids into Roman territory. The once mighty legions were stretched thin, forced to fight on multiple fronts simultaneously. The empire became too large and unwieldy to be governed effectively by a single ruler. In a desperate attempt to stabilize the collapsing state, Emperor Diocletian instituted a radical reform into 85 CE, the Tetrarchy, or Rule of Four. He divided the empire into an eastern and a western half, each with a senior emperor Augustus and a junior emperor Caesar. While this system brought a temporary respite, it also formalized the growing division between the Greek-speaking East and the Latin-speaking West. The next major turning point came with Emperor Constantine the Great. After reuniting the empire under his sole rule, he made some momentous decisions. In 313 CE, he issued the Edict of Milan, which granted religious tolerance throughout the empire, ending the persecution of Christians and paving the way for Christianity to become the dominant religion. Then, in 330 CE, he moved the capital of the empire from Rome to the ancient Greek city of Byzantium, which he renamed Constantinople. This strategic move shifted the empire's center of gravity eastward, leaving the western half increasingly vulnerable. Following Constantine's death, the division between East and West became permanent. The Western Roman Empire continued its slow and agonizing decline. It was plagued by a succession of weak and ineffective emperors, political instability, and a failing economy. Its armies,